right? Because it says in it. So we're talking about the angles on the inside that equal 180. So when we look at this one, we have 40. We have 40, and then we have some unknown angles. So off to the side, they did the sum of the angles equals 40 plus 40 and D. And we know that the sum of the angles is 180, and 40 plus 40 is 80. So 80 minus 100 is, or I'm sorry, 180 minus 80 is?
100.
100, right? So we can assume that D, the one that's unmarked, is 100 degrees. Because 100 plus 40 is how much?
180.
100 plus 40, let's see, is 140. And 140 plus 40 is?
180.
180. So is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So when we see this little square, if we're looking at number 1, and we see our little square in the corner, what does that mean?
Put our name in it.
What do you think? I think that would be a great idea.
I brought extras.
Here you go.
I brought extras.
Oh, aren't you the best, Miss Stephanie? Thank you. So if we're looking at this, what does that little square mean? What does that represent? What kind of angle?
A right angle.
A what kind of angle?
A right angle.
A right angle. So how many degrees is a right angle?
90.
90. So if we have 90 degrees here and 45 degrees here, what is our angle P?
We're about to find out.
Okay. So this is where you can use your whiteboard if you would like to do a little math on it, so you don't have to write all over your paper.
I don't want one.
Okay.
He thinks he's smart. He can't.
He is a smart man.
I don't want one. Here's one for you. Oh, okay. Here's one. Here's two. So, three.
So you can absolutely use that if you'd like.
Wait, this is one.
So Brian and Antonio are choosing to use
Mine
their...
is 42.
Okay, so you are using your protractor to figure that out. You found 45.
Me 42.
I'm going to do
These
a
are
little math
extras.
equation.
Okay.
So let's see. So I have 90 plus 45. Remember, I'm trying to get to 180. So I have 90 plus 45. 0 plus 5 is 5. And 9 plus 4 is 13. Am I at 180 yet?
No.
How do I know the difference between 180 and 135? How do I figure out the difference?
You could subtract it.
I could subtract, right?
If I'm right.
So if I have 0 minus 5, can I take 5 away if I don't have any? So what do I have to do? Borrow. Borrow from my 8. Make it a 7. 10 minus 5. Now I can do it. I have 5. 7 minus 3. 4. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So I have 45 degrees. So let's check this. So if I have 90 degrees plus my 45 plus my 45, I have 10. I have 10. 14, 18. I have 180. So is that right?
Yep.
Alright.
Then mine is
So I know that my angle P equals, and you said you got 42, right? So remember earlier we were...
47.
Oh, you got 47. Do you remember earlier when we were talking about our protractors, those little lines, all of those degrees are very close to each other, right? So every once in a while we might be just a little bit off. So 47 is super close. But if Antonio knows in his mind that all triangles, their interior angles is 80, 180, he could probably think, 47 is really close to 45, and I know 45 and 45 and 90 is 180.
Should have put it in me.
That's okay. Oh, what a good friend you have there. So for number 1, we'll write how many degrees is P?
45.
45. Okay. So now try and do number 2.
This is a good idea.
You don't think it's okay?
Exactly.
I'm not leaving you alone.
Okay, now it's 46.
See, it's always going to be a little off. But if we know that at the middle of it is 180, how much does it have to be? Antonio.
No, wait, I have it the other way. Still 47.
But what do we need right here?
What's your angle for P?
Wait a little bit.
But we already proved, right, that it's 180, right? So it's okay that it's a little off when you did it on yours, but we know that if it was a perfect world and you could put it perfectly on there, where would it go through?
I found the answer.
At what degree?
45.
45, right? So you can go ahead and write that answer. Hi, you do that, Miss Stephanie?
I added 40 and 30 and I got 70.
Okay, 40 plus 30 is 70. Are we at 180 yet?
No.
Nope. What do we do then?
So I subtracted 180 from 70 and I got 110.
So did I. So look at angle F. Is that greater or less than 90?
Greater.
Greater than. Is 110 greater than 90?
Mm-hmm.
So does that make sense?
Yes.
Do we think Miss Stephanie's right?
Yes.
Is our total 180 for our interior angles?
Yes.
Then we would assume she's right.
Wait, what is it? Wait, what?
You figure it out yourself. You tell me what it is.
8 and 8.
So what do we... 70, yeah? 70 is the total of the two you already have. What are you trying to get to all in the middle? What degree? 180. So what's the difference between 70 and 180?
And it's greater?
But what's the number? What's the difference? How many are in between? You can write it out. You don't have to do the math in your head. So if we have 180 and we're trying to find the difference between 180 and 70, are we going to add them? Are we going to multiply them? Or are we going to subtract them? Okay.
But in this one, don't you need to divide?
Why?
The 80 and 80s.
110
Plus is
110 degrees. Does this angle look bigger than 90? Is 110 bigger than 90? Is 110 plus 40 plus 30? 180?
Right here, it equals 1,600.
80 plus 80?
Yeah. No.
Another number.
What's 8 plus 8?
16.
What's 0 plus 0?
0. I thought I was multiplying because I put 8 times 2 is 16. And I was to.
Hey, how did you get 70?
Oh.
How did you get 70?
I'm working on number 2 with Mr. Antonio. So, Mr. Antonio, does 110 plus 30 plus 40 equal 180? Sure, we can move on. If you would like to, absolutely.
Okay.
So we're on number 3 or 4? You're on 4?
I'm on 4.
You're on 4?
45 and 45 is 90.
I got my
80 plus 80 plus 2?
Could we move on? Oh, yeah.
How many does it take for me to get to 180 from 160? Plus 2?
Yeah.
Is that 180?
8.
How many more do I need? Plus 8?
No. 28. 28.
28?
Mm-hmm.
160 plus 28? 188? Is that 180?
No.
Alrighty. How many from 100?
20.
Let's see. 180. Oh, is that 180?
What's 80 plus 80? 160.
So is it 2 degrees or is it
20.
20 degrees?